Our message all week was just stack one and then start stacking more. So that's the plan moving forward, and got a heck of a group of guys that are going to do that.
Everybody, happy Victory Tuesday. As Mason Rudolph said, it's time to start stacking those wins, but to do so, you had to get your first one, and the Steelers did that on Monday Night Football against the Cincinnati Bengals, winning 27-3. Welcome to Steelers Live. Joining me today is Tunch Ilkin. He's also sleep deprived, but it was a win. Lots of things to be excited about, and I do want to start with the Wildcat, Tunch. Right. Were you surprised when they first started implementing it?
Well, I saw them practice it last week, but I got to admit to you, Missy, I was surprised. But the way it worked, I was just very, very impressed. I was impressed the way it stretched the defense horizontally. One of the things that Cincinnati could not do was stop it. And Missy, the reason I like it is because there's a lot of misdirection, there's a lot of jet sweeps, and it makes you move horizontally. But then when you come back to the power game, it's more effective because now you're playing a little bit more flat-footed. So I loved the design of the Wildcat, and I love the execution.
All right, today was also Coach Tomlin's press conference due to it being a short week, and he explained why they went with the Wildcat in terms of the offensive game plan.
It leveled the playing field. It also limited Mason's exposure, quite frankly, to the defense. When you got a young quarterback, sometimes you can assist them by turning a 70-play game into a 50-play game. And sometimes a bunch of exposure is not good exposure. So I thought it was helpful to him to chew up some of those snaps, to limit some of his exposure to the defense while putting the ball in the hands of some capable men and being able to produce some plays. And it was good enough to kind of gain some traction and keep us on schedule and put us in some manageable third downs and things of that nature.
All right, Tunch, so it worked last night.
Right.
Is this something the Steelers can continue using now that it is on film and other defenses are going to see it?
I think it is, Missy. I was just watching the film of the Baltimore-Cleveland game. They don't use the Wildcat, but they use the jet sweeps, and they run the ball with their quarterback. So I think you got to use it because you use it until they stop it. And once again, when you stretch a team horizontally, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but now you go at them, and it's much more effective, the power running. And we have good offensive linemen that can dig you out, and once you get to play flat-footed, it's a whole different scenario.
All right, we have some fun facts in the terms of tweets to go over what the offense was able to accomplish last night. The first one, the Monday Night Football record. That win extends Pittsburgh's winning streak at home on Monday Night Football to 17 games. I thought that was fairly interesting. As you could see, I was tweeting that at 1 o'clock in the morning. Here is one about Mason Rudolph from the Steelers PR department. His completion percentage is the highest for a quarterback at the second career start or earlier since the 1970 merger. Not too bad.
Yeah.
And you might like this one. Jalen Samuels is now the second player with 3 completions, 3 rushes, and 3 catches in a game since the merger, joining only Terrell Pryor in 2016. So it worked.
And one of the things great, I mean, if you look at the stats, Jalen Samuels and James Conner combined had over 200 yards rushing and receiving. You look at James Conner, he had over 120 yards rushing and receiving. So that is, it was a running back focus, and the that shuffle pass on the jet sweep or on the Wildcat. It's too bad those are pass receptions. I would have liked to see the yards per carry, but both of those guys, James Conner and Jalen Samuels, played well. That's almost like a cross buck. You know what? The crossing series of the running back. He comes in motion. Jalen Samuels flipped it. He works to the left. And watching the defense of the Cincinnati Bengals, they were pausing. Like when we did Chalk Talk, Jesse Bates, the safety, was totally fooled by Jalen Samuels. He acted like he pitched the ball to James Conner. He went out with James Conner, and then there was a big crease there. So I like it. Let's run it and keep running it.
All right, Tunch, we of course have to talk about the Steelers defense, and to do so, let's take a look quickly at their 8 sacks.
Play action fake, he's hit, he's down again, this time TJ Watt.
And they just collapsed the pocket. Wow.
He's hit, he's sacked again, Tyson Alu, number 8.
Cam Hayward did a great job of bull rushing Michael Jordan, the rookie left guard.
Big rush again, and down he goes, back at the 30.
Tuitt is being a monster, man.
Pocket collapses.
Oh.
He's hit. Cam Hayward is in there.
I think everybody's got a sack tonight. All the defensive linemen.
All right, Tunch, I would not want to be Andy Dalton today.
Right.
I know how I feel not playing. I can imagine how he feels. What did the Steelers defense do right yesterday that made it finally click?
They just beat their guys one-on-one. They ran a few twists, and especially TT games with Cam and Stephon. But it wasn't so much what they did; it was how they did it, Missy. They just blew up those offensive linemen, and they got the edge on them. T.J. Watt got the edge. Bud Dupree got the edge on Andre Smith, and they just collapsed the pocket. All night long, Andy Dalton didn't have a pocket to step up into. And then the Devin Bush sack, here it is. He just, on a delay, there was nobody picking him up, and it was just a great pass rush by Bud Dupree, and the tomahawk on the arm, and T.J. Watt gets it. The defense, they are going to build on what we have seen last night. And we've been playing pretty good. We've been rushing the passer pretty good throughout the course of the season.
All right, Tunch, thanks so much for joining me today to do a quick recap of the game. Practice, of course, resumes tomorrow, but as I said, it was also Coach Tomlin's press conference today, so let's very quickly take a look at the injuries. He did say after the game and again today, James Conner and Cam Hayward were both injured in game but able to return. Those are guys we'll have to take a look at this week. Some hopeful news in terms of Vince Williams, Vance McDonald, and Anthony Chickolo. Coach Tomlin sounds like they have a chance to participate this week against the Baltimore Ravens, and Rosie Nix once again sounds like he will be out for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Coach Tomlin talking about a number of things today. Of course, he was asked about Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, who was hurt and had his elbow surgery, but he was there on the sideline doing his best. He helped Mason. He talked to some of the young receivers, even the tight ends, to try to help anybody and everybody he could. So here's more from the press conference.
Mike, what did having Ben on the sideline offer for your team last night?
Nothing in terms of playmaking.
But in terms of just having him there.
I'm into the tangible.
Moncrief got a helmet last night after being inactive the previous week. Coach Tomlin was asked what he has been doing in terms of trying to get back into the good graces.
I just like his attitude and his work, and we'll keep working to see if an opportunity presents itself. And more importantly than that, if it presents itself, is his level of readiness when it presents itself, because you don't have to be in this thing a long time to realize that the boomerang comes back around, and he needs to be ready for it when it does.
Tunch was just telling me how aggressive Baltimore Ravens offense looks after watching some film from this game. Of course, Lamar Jackson is the quarterback. The last time the Steelers and Ravens played, it was Joe Flacco. Coach Tomlin said they will have to prepare extra this week.
forget stopping their talents on Sunday. It's difficult to duplicate their talents in preparation because, we don't have a quarterback that looks like Lamar Jackson in terms of how he moves and throws and all of those things. So, we'll have some challenges there.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us today on Steelers Live. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Have a great night, everybody.